Now let's see how we can add a layer style in Photoshop, like adding drop shadow, outer glow, and stuff like that. So here in our file we have two type layers. One of them is including styling word, and the other layer is including layers. So let's say we would like to add layer style to that styling word in here. So we have that layer, we can be double clicking in that area, or we can be selecting from that FX button, or even we can right click our layer in that area, then selecting blending options. So we can select maybe to add drop shadow, and also make sure that you are clicking on drop shadow to access more options for your effect. So can I change distance or spread or size. Depending on how far you would like to have your shadow, how sharp or how big you would like to have your shadow. And we can change the angle of our shadow as well from here. And you will have another preview as well in here. And also make sure you are always selecting use global light. So in case you are applying drop shadow also to another layer, it will be having the same angle, and that will be looking of course more realistic in your design. And we have opacity controls as well. And we have blend mode set in that case to multiply. You can change that one anytime to experiment different effects. And also we have some quality options for our effect as well, to add maybe some noise. However, that doesn't really look that amazing, so removing that. And also here we can see that plus icon, which means that we can be applying that effect more than one time for the same layer. Maybe if you're looking for an intense effect, you can be clicking that plus. And if you don't like it, you can be clicking that trash button to get rid of that one. And let's also go for more styles, so selecting outer glow, which is going to add a glow around your layer. We can increase size or spread from here. And also you have technique, you can select instead of softer, precise, which is going to make it look a bit harsher in that case. Then we have pattern overlay. Let's add that one as well. And you can select different types of patterns from here, or you can be browsing for more by selecting the gear. You will find artist surfaces and many other textures to choose from. So let's remove that one so we can see how gradient overlay will look like. And this one will be adding a gradient to your layer, and you can select from here for different gradients like black and white or different colors. And you can reduce opacity as well to blend that one with your original colors, which is orange as well in that case. So let's maybe select a different gradient, maybe black and white. Or instead of applying gradient overlay, you can be adding a color, solid color. So let's remove that effect. Selecting color overlay, now we have that one set to white. Can choose maybe a color like that. And actually this one is really handy, especially when it comes to logos coming from Illustrator and you would like to change their color into a solid white color. You can be adding a color overlay, and instead of selecting that logo and filling that one with color, you might be losing some quality in that case. So let's apply that. And also we have different blend modes as well. So multiply will be giving you a different result and different color in that case. Then we have satin, which will be adding some shadow within your layer. So let's disable that one so you can see better, guys. And also we can be adding inner glow and inner shadow as well, disabling that satin so you can see it, and also disabling inner glow. Now we have that inner shadow, we have distance, choke, size as well, so you can change these variables to get different results. However, let me disable that one as well so we can see how the stroke will look like. Now we have a black stroke color, we can change that one from our color picker, maybe selecting blue. Then we can increase size, and we can change position as well, instead of inside to outside or center. Then we have bevel and emboss, disabling stroke in that case. Here you have depth, and we have size as well. We can change that one a bit, so you can imagine how it's gonna look like, giving us almost a 3D effect. And we have inner bevel. We can select to make that outer bevel. Emboss, below emboss, which is looking really old, by the way. Don't try to use that one within your designs. And you have a stroke emboss as well. And here you have more controls for shading and how light will be casting on your layer. You can experiment with these, and anytime you would like to reset your settings, you can be clicking that button in here. However, let's disable that one for now and apply our effect, which is drop shadow and maybe outer glow in that case. And now we can see that we have FX added to our layer, and we can see our effects in here. Like sub layers, you can be disabling them or enabling them, maybe outer glow only or drop shadow as well. And we can drag that effect to another layer, which might be layer type in that case. Now that one moved from that layer to that layer. However, if we would like to duplicate our effect, we can simply hold Alt or Option key and dragging that drop shadow effect to our styling layer. Now we have the same drop shadow effect added to those two layers. And anytime you would like to re-edit your effect, you can double click on that one. You will have your layer style dialog where you can be changing your values, maybe distance for that one. Then pressing OK. And also you can be applying layer styles to a group of layers instead of applying that one to each and every layer. So let's delete that effect and duplicating that layer and nudging that layer down using shift and down arrow. Then selecting these two layers, holding command or control, clicking on that layer, then grouping these two layers, pressing command or control G. Then let's go ahead and grab that drop shadow effect to our group 1, which is including our two layers. Now we have that effect applied to our two layers within our group. We can be disabling or enabling that one anytime, simply like that. Now let's say we like that layer styling for styling word and we would like to save that style so we can reuse it later within our design files. So we can add that one to our libraries by going to Window, then selecting Styles, where we can be applying different Photoshop styles, or we can be saving our own custom styles. So I'm gonna be selecting styling layer in that case. Then I'm gonna be clicking add new to save that style. So it's gonna be including layer effects. And if you would like to add your layer blending option, you can be checking that one. And also make sure that you have that option as well selected so you can be adding that one to your library. Let's call that one drop shadow and outer glow for instance. Then pressing OK. Now we have that style added to our libraries, which you can find in here. And also you can find that one in your styles panel as well. So let's create a new file, pressing command or control N. Then selecting any preset, maybe that one, create. Then selecting type tool. I'm gonna be clicking anywhere, increasing font size to 72 for instance. Selecting move tool. Now we have our type in here. That's just a dummy text, so let's select our style. Or we can undo that pressing command or control Z, going to libraries, selecting the same effect. However, the difference between using styles panel and libraries is that you can be accessing the same style from different PCs. If you added that one to your library using your Creative Cloud ID, you can be logging into another PC and accessing the same styles from your own libraries. So that's how you apply layer styles in Photoshop. You will find that file in your resources. Go ahead and start messing around with these styles.